All right, so how does Crypto.com compare to Binance right now? And do they have the roadmap to compete and possibly overtake Binance in the future? Let's start diving into some head-to-head comparisons. Let's start off with number one, history. Okay, contrary to popular belief, Crypto.com has actually been around longer than Binance. They started the company in June of 2016, which was called Monaco at the time, and the mission was really to bring cryptocurrency to the masses, or cryptocurrency in every wallet. And one of their missions was, we believe it is your basic right to control your money, data, and identity. Now, Monaco later rebranded to Crypto.com in 2018, following the purchase of the domain name Crypto.com. That's right, Crypto.com wasn't called Crypto.com in the beginning, so that's why it seems like Binance has been out much longer. But they've actually started a year earlier than Binance. Now, some of the key people in Crypto.com is obviously its CEO and founder, Chris Marszalek, and Bobby Bao, the co-founder and head of corporate development. On the other hand, Binance was founded in June of 2017 by none other than the famous entrepreneur Changpeng Zhao, or CZ. And CZ, he basically used to develop high-frequency trading software. But he also used to flip burgers at McDonald's. So if you think of fast food as a bad start in life, you're wrong. Because today, his net worth rivals that of Mark Zuckerberg's on any given day, and he built his empire in less than 5 years. And that just shows you how fast the cryptocurrency world moves. So, one area where Crypto.com and Binance are similar but slightly differ is really in their missions. And one of Binance's core values was really to further the freedom of money globally. And by spreading this freedom, you can really significantly improve lives around the world. And this is because CZ, he was definitely influenced in his early years in his career, where he was like working in different countries and found that it was such a hassle to keep exchanging money from one country to another. This was one of his inspirations for finding Binance, as well as his experience building high-frequency trading systems on Wall Street. From just a pure history perspective, I would say it's probably a tie right now, because both companies started in 2016 or 2017 respectively, and they both survived a brutal crypto winter. All right, let's talk about global availability and regulation. But before I do, I just want to fully disclose that I will be referring to Binance and Binance.us throughout the rest of the video. The full Binance is obviously geo-restricted from US residents such as myself. However, for testing purposes in making this video, I did fully test out global Binance and all their features. And in order to do that, I did use a VPN to bypass the geo restriction. And the VPN that I did use was AtlasVPN. And it was really simple. It was just like turning on a button and then I was good to go. And then I could fully access global Binance. Now, full disclosure, AtlasVPN did help me out by giving me a free subscription for me to use in making this video. So thank you, AtlasVPN. Make sure you guys check out their offer in the description below if you're in the market for VPN services, as they have a really good promotion going on right now. I personally use my VPN to bypass geo restrictions, but you can use your VPN for a bunch of different things like hiding your IP, watching Netflix in a restricted region, blocking ads and phishing attempts, or even protecting your crypto assets. It's really, really versatile. So once again, make sure you guys check out AtlasVPN. They have one of the best pricings that I've seen in the VPN service market. So once again, check them out in the description below for a good promotional offer. And with that said, let's get back to the video. So Binance is available in over 180 countries worldwide, although there are some restrictions. Binance is not available in the US, and they pulled out of Canada's most populous region, Ontario, recently. Now, Binance does have Binance.us, which is a much more scaled down version of Binance with much less functionality, but it is available for US users. But on the other hand, Crypto.com is available in a little over 100 countries worldwide, and they do work in the US and Canada, except for New York. And one of the things that I love about Crypto.com being a US resident is that I get almost full functionality of the app, just like most global users, as opposed to a watered down version of the app like Binance.us or something like FTX.us. And that was one of the reasons that attracted me to Crypto.com in the first place, is being able to get that full crypto experience that other global users got, and being able to purchase all these coins that I couldn't with Binance.us or even FTX.us for example. Now, in terms of regulatory issues, it seems that a lot of financial regulators have been targeting crypto exchanges like Binance to prevent money laundering and other illegal uses of digital currencies. And Binance has been hit with many regulatory issues this year and had to pull out of Ontario and Singapore. And some of these regulatory concerns were really like protection against money laundering and terrorism financing, for example. Another big concern would be like earning interest on your crypto, and crypto exchanges or crypto apps like BlockFi and Celsius are not immune to this. For example, Celsius and BlockFi, they both got hit with regulatory concerns this past year because they offered interest yield on your crypto. And really, these regulators claim they unlawfully offered unregistered securities in the form of high interest-bearing accounts used to fund their lending operations. And of course, even Coinbase got hit by the SEC when Coinbase advertised their lend program as a high-yield alternative to traditional savings accounts. Now, I haven't heard of any regulatory issues with Crypto.com yet with the SEC or any other regulatory body so far, which could mean a couple of things. And the first thing could be that Crypto.com is just really lucky and hasn't been hit yet. Or the other reason could be they take regulation and compliance extremely seriously. Now, I can't comment on any future potential regulations, but I will say this. The CEO, Chris Marszalek, stresses the importance of regulation and compliance. And Crypto.com is the exchange, in my opinion, that is super compliant with regulations and tax reporting. They want to be a 100% compliant crypto exchange. And this really involves a detailed KYC, and they also actually track down all your transactions when you use the app and also help you prepare a Form 1099 MISC when you have earned more than $600 in miscellaneous income, especially if you are a US user. And I believe they're equally as tax compliant in other jurisdictions, and their crypto tax service is big. So if you are a money launderer, you may want to look elsewhere.
Me? I don't understand. Why me?
All right, let's talk about security next. Now, both Binance and Crypto.com are heavily secured exchanges, no surprises there. In fact, Crypto.com is the first cryptocurrency company to achieve many world-class certifications, and 100% of the users' cryptocurrencies are actually held offline in cold storage. And Binance also holds the majority of their user funds, not 100%, but the majority are also in offline cold storage facilities. And both companies really have strict sign-in protocols using two-factor authentication, SMS, and email-based verification, and both have FDIC insurance for USD balances if you are a resident of the United States. But on a darker side, however, Binance and Crypto.com have both been hacked in the past. In 2019, hackers stole over $40 million worth of Bitcoin from Binance. And of course, in January of 2022, Crypto.com lost $30 million in a hack where over 400 customer accounts were compromised. Now, both Binance and Crypto.com really did fully reimburse their customers for the losses, and they both significantly beefed up their security since their respective hacking incidents, so the net result was no customers lost any funds. Binance also announced a $1 billion SafeFu fund, or secure asset fund for users, with almost a $1 billion valuation to safeguard their users against potential hacks and exploits in the crypto ecosystem. And Crypto.com also announced their Worldwide Account Protection Program, WAP, starting on February 1, that can restore users' funds up to $250,000 if you are qualified. So to kind of summarize, both exchanges treat security seriously, and while it sucks that hacks happen, you do have to like how both companies handled their respective hacking incidents. All right, let's talk about tokenomics next. BNB has a circulating supply of 165 million coins with a max supply of 200 million coins, and BNB was designed with a token burn mechanism which basically induces scarcity and drives up the value of the token over time. And part of Binance's profits are really used to buy back BNB, which is then removed from circulation every quarter. And really the goal is to reduce the total supply of BNB by 100 million to have about a circulating supply of 100 million through their auto burn mechanism. And BNB can obviously be used as a utility token. With more BNB, you can save on trading fees on the Binance crypto exchange, and you can also use BNB to settle transaction fees on the Binance Smart Chain. Whereas CRO or CRO, on the other hand, started off with 100 billion tokens, and then they had one of the largest token burns in history with almost 70 billion tokens that were burned, leaving a max supply of 30 billion CRO. And CRO can be used all across the Crypto.com ecosystem to obtain the Crypto.com debit card and settle transactions on the Chronos chain. Now, I like that both coins have hard capped max supplies, with both having deflationary mechanisms in place. Now, obviously, Binance has a much lower circulating supply than Crypto.com, as Crypto.com's token supply is almost 150 times that of Binance's. All right, let's talk about availability of tokens. Now, Binance Global is more robust at this point in time, offering more than 500 cryptocurrencies, whereas Crypto.com, they offer over 150 cryptocurrencies, which is much less than Binance's, but I've never had a problem finding a coin that I wanted on Crypto.com. And although Binance has much more cryptocurrencies, I would say a lot of them I would personally never want to touch. Both companies seem to be very quick at getting out all the top cryptos, unlike Coinbase, for example. And the only one caveat is that Binance.US is obviously much more limited than Crypto.com. Crypto.com offers much better coin selection to US residents. All right, so what's next on the list? Let's talk next about trading fees. And no question that Binance is a much more superior exchange when it comes to lower trading fees. Crypto.com actually has very high exchange fees compared to the rest of the market. Unfortunately, I know, Binance actually charges a standard fee of about 0.1% per trade, and if you hold enough BNB, you can earn up to a 25% discount by using BNB to acquire the trading fee discount, and this fee would also go down with trading volume. On the other hand, Crypto.com's fee can be as high as 0.4% per trade, and this amount can be reduced depending on the amount of trading volume over a 30-day period. But if you are a whale and own enough CRO, it is possible to get the trading fee comparable to Binance's or even better. But for the average mainstream user, Binance has one of the lowest trading fees in all of crypto, so they are a clear winner here in my opinion. Now, as a CRO holder, the higher trading fees don't really bother me as they sort of indirectly benefit me, but please do your own due diligence on your trading fees. The trade-off of a simple and easy to use app with all the coin selection that I wanted as a US resident was worth it to me. But again, as a US user, I don't have access to the Crypto.com desktop exchange yet, and I have to rely on the mobile version, which has much more limited functionality and no like stop or limit orders. So again, my ability to comment is much less. But if you have used the Crypto.com exchange before, let me know your feedback in the comments below as I'm curious. Now let's talk about their respective debit card programs. Binance also has a debit card program where you can earn up to 8% cashback, and their debit card program is not available in the US, so I have a more limited understanding of it. But your cashback rebate would depend on the amount of BNB that you hold, and with enough BNB, you can earn up to like an 8% rebate. Now, one thing that I did note on Binance's website is that your maximum monthly cashback rebate is capped at $500 at the max tier, which is really low in my opinion. That would mean the equivalent of spending, I don't know, just like about $6,250 that is eligible for cashback if you were at the top tier. Whereas the Crypto.com debit cards, they also max out at an 8% rebate with the Obsidian Black Card, but the maximum monthly spending limit is $25,000 on the top tier, so you could potentially earn up to $2,000 in CRO cashback every month. All right, I've really gone in depth on the Crypto.com debit card programs on my channel, so you know how I feel about them. I feel they're a world-class product, beautifully designed, and really give you awesome benefits. And I really feel that they are the best product in all of crypto. They have the most beautifully designed card with the best benefits. So in my opinion, Crypto.com clearly wins here. Now, both platforms do offer interest yielding opportunities through their platform, Crypto.com with their Crypto Earn program, and through Binance, you can stake certain coins and earn yield as well. So finally, let's talk about the ecosystem. Binance is much further ahead in terms of their ecosystem with the Binance Smart Chain. And also their Binance Labs also helps entrepreneurs with their startups through their incubation program. And one of Binance Labs' most famous investments is actually their investment in Terra, and they are also a Luna holder themselves, while Crypto.com is just really getting started with the Chronos ecosystem, they don't have a whole lot of notable partners yet, but they do have a venture capital arm to back early stage Web3 startups called Crypto.com Capital. And one of their most noticeable partnerships is with Ledger, and that is integrated with their institutional grade custody solution called Ledger Vault. Finally, let's talk about marketing. And let me just put it this way, Binance isn't going out there and putting out Super Bowl ads. Crypto.com is one of the most superior crypto companies in terms of marketing, building partnerships with like LeBron James, Matt Damon, the Lakers Arena, UFC, and much more. In fact, Crypto.com is just such a well-marketed crypto company that mainstream users have actually heard of them. Like a lot of my friends not in crypto have actually heard of Crypto.com through advertising, through like South Park, but none of them have heard of Binance. But of course, if you are in the crypto community, Binance and BNB, everyone has heard of, and the important role that Binance plays in the overall crypto ecosystem. All right, let's talk about the unique positioning of Crypto.com versus Binance and where I see things are different. Okay, so Crypto.com is an exchange, but I don't think their core value proposition is just the exchange. Like you can find exchanges with better fees and more functionality. Like the Crypto.com app doesn't even offer limit or stop orders right now in their app. But in my opinion, it is the most integrated all-in-one crypto financial ecosystem for mainstream users that could potentially rival traditional banks and traditional finance. And best of all is that they use a mobile-first approach. So in my opinion, they want to be the #1 crypto bank, which includes investing and lending, but also a leader in online crypto payments, not just the #1 exchange. Whereas Binance, on the other hand, seems like it was built more for professional traders and people who want an amazing crypto exchange, which does make sense because Binance was inspired by some of the problems in traditional exchanges like insecure platform and poor market liquidity. Wait, is it a insecure platform or unsecure platform? I'm not sure I got the correct word. I never get my English right. Like, does my wife say I'm unsecure or insecure? What is the correct word? Okay, I'm gonna stop joking around.
Stop it.
All right, let's answer some questions. Again, these are my own personal beliefs. So again, take everything with a grain of salt. But what are some of the most common questions? First question, can Crypto.com beat Binance in terms of an actual exchange business? Now, it'd be really hard for anyone to beat Binance in the actual exchange business. Binance actually has Binance Cloud, which allows potential crypto exchange startups or businesses to partner with Binance and share in Binance's trader liquidity as opposed to go out and compete and build their own exchange. One example would be like Mandala Exchange, or as I call it, Second Chance BNB, which is basically a fully featured exchange that shares in Binance's liquidity pool, but with its own governance and tokenomics. So if you're looking at potential exchanges, like why compete and build your own exchange when you can just partner with Binance? Like if you really take a look at their 24-hour trading volume, Binance is just so much above and beyond the rest of the competition, including Crypto.com. I'm gonna show you guys this quick data from Coin Ranking, which basically shows the volume of all the exchanges. And that is really where I feel the direction that Binance is really going. They are the best and most liquid exchange in the world. And if you want to build a crypto startup and you want to have crypto exchange functionality, why would you build your own when you can just partner with Binance and share in its liquidity and security features? And there really aren't that many exchanges that I think can just start up today and really compete with the best of the world unless you really got into crypto very early or you have really deep pockets like FTX. So, can Crypto.com beat Binance in terms of an actual exchange business? I'm gonna say no right now. I don't see it happening right now, but of course, things can change. But really, I don't see anyone that can beat Binance in terms of an actual exchange, including FTX, Gate.io, Coinbase. The one caveat would be if Binance continues to have so much regulation issues, and if they don't fix these issues, someone like Crypto.com can eventually overtake them. But Binance just has such a deep head start over everyone else that it would just be so hard for a competitor to actually walk in and overtake them in terms of actual trading volume. Okay, second question. Can Crypto.com overtake Binance in terms of number of users? Binance is obviously a rapidly growing crypto exchange platform. In 2017, they had 1.5 million users. In 2018, that number was 13.3 million. In 2019, that was 16.5 million. 2020, 21.5 million, and almost 29 million in 2021. Numbers have not been reported yet for 2022, but an interesting fact is that for users of Binance, I think over 90% of the users on the platform are actually males, and the average age is around 35 years. Damn, I guess I fit right into the Binance boat. Now, Crypto.com, on the other hand, achieved over 10 million users in 2021 and have not actually reported user numbers recently, but they are targeting over 100 million users by the end of 2023. And one of Crypto.com's unique positioning is such a beautifully designed app for the mainstream user. They don't necessarily need to beat Binance in terms of crypto exchange volume. Just remember, they offer an integrated crypto banking service where you can deposit funds, lend funds, buy crypto, and transact on the Crypto.com debit card. So, can Crypto.com beat Binance in terms of users? The answer is yes. Their ability to attract users is insane through marketing, and they are really planning to have 100 million users on the Crypto.com platform in the next 2 years. So in my opinion, they will eventually, if they have not already, exceed Binance in terms of the number of daily users. Next question, can one CRO ever be worth more than one BNB? The answer is no. CRO has tokenomics of 30 billion versus 200 million for BNB, and BNB has deflationary mechanisms in place to try to reduce the overall supply to 100 million. So if someone tells you that one CRO will be worth more than one BNB, that will never happen because the supply of CRO or CRO is almost 180 times the amount of BNBs. But next question, can the market capitalization of CRO be worth more than the market capitalization of BNB? And as we all know by taking a look at recent data, BNB is sitting at 4th place right now with a market capitalization of just over $60 billion, whereas CRO has a market cap of around $10 billion. So this brings us to the $1 million question, and that is, can Crypto.com overtake Binance in terms of overall market capitalization? So drum roll please. Now this answer is based on my own personal belief. But yes, I do believe that Crypto.com will match Binance's market capitalization and eventually exceed it if they can execute on their vision of cryptocurrency in every wallet. If they cannot execute on this vision, they will not, because their exchange business alone is not good enough to take them there. But if Crypto.com can execute, which is that integrated all-in-one crypto ecosystem, rivaling that of traditional banks, the space they are playing in is much bigger than Binance's. Now, I'm really basing this on a couple of things. First is really that explosion from 10 million users to 100 million users on Crypto.com in the next 2 years, which will also at the same time significantly grow the Cronos ecosystem. And with the amount of users coming onto Crypto.com, it's just so much easier to attract developers to come and build on Cronos once you have the user base. And Crypto.com, in my opinion, has the most potential to attract the most mainstream users through marketing. And they are better than any other crypto blockchain project right now in terms of marketing. So once the users are on Crypto.com, there are just so many areas that Crypto.com can serve these users in. And some of their focus areas are really insane. Like they won't just be like a competitor to Binance, but to traditional cross-border payment companies like Western Union, TransferWise, and Payoneer, and also a legitimate threat to traditional finance companies and banks like JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo. And keep in mind that Crypto.com was built with a mobile-first focus, and there are 2 billion people in the world where their first experience with traditional banking is going to be through crypto. Like some of these people, they don't even have access to a desktop computer or any traditional banks, so their mobile phone is really their everything for them, including their bank. That is why the potential is insane if Crypto.com can execute on their vision. And that is because institutional DeFi or decentralized finance is going to be over $1 trillion industry. And Crypto.com is one of those leaders in capturing a large share of that market. So I really think that based off of all this data and some of my own personal beliefs that Crypto.com is one of crypto's most promising projects, and they are a legitimate competitor to traditional banks and cross-border payment solutions. Now, of course, there are a lot of factors still, like regulatory risks and senior management's ability to execute, and also potential competitors offering something different in the payment space, like Terra Luna, for example. But you can't help but wonder if Crypto.com is able to execute. Think about that vision. It is a global mobile bank on your cell phone that is frictionless, that can send transactions at the speed of light in the hands of 100 million users and growing. So in conclusion, I think Crypto.com has the potential to overtake Binance, but not based on the exchange business, but through their overall integrated crypto banking focus. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, but tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that Crypto.com can overtake Binance? If you guys enjoyed that video, please leave a comment below. I really get inspired by reading comments, and I actually make future videos based on the comments that I see. But as with anything and everything, please do your own due diligence. Please do your own research. Don't trust anyone, including myself, unless you've done proper due diligence for yourself. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.